What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I'm checking out the new hub pouch with hook and loop. Obviously, I've done a video on the hub pouch in the past, and previously it didn't have the hook and loop panel, so really this is going to be the same thing as the original hub pouch, just with the addition of this hook and loop panel, which is about 4.5 inches wide by 2 inches tall. So I got the bundle that came with the Alpaka Ranger eyes, and they're a little bit bigger than you can see some of the standard Ranger eyes, just slightly. And this version is about $45 right now, but you can get the standard without the patches for $39. So pretty reasonable price pouch, kind of right in the middle there of the price zone. And I have some other patches on here as well, Maniac EDC, Gondek EDC, and I forget the maker behind this Wii Banter, which is obviously a Wii remote on the Banter knife. But if it's still available, I'll link down in the description below. But really nice kind of addition to the pouch. I feel like it was missing from the old one. I've seen some people customize it, but it was just kind of missing from the old one, and I feel like it's really completes this pouch, which was a really good pouch. On the exterior back here, there's a loop where you can use any of their hub accessories, and I've done a video on the hub accessories as well. I decided not to use the hub accessories and go with the hero clip in this case, just to kind of switch it up. Just give another option. The hero clips are really nice. I believe this is the small or extra small, and these just kind of, you can open it up, twist it out, and it gives you a hook that you can hook to a branch or a towel rack or really anything you want onto the molly webbing of the bag or anything really, and it just gives you an option to kind of hang the bag really nicely, and then you just kind of twist it back into place, open it up, and close it, and it locks it back into place. So just kind of a nice hook option. It is a little bit bulky, but this pouch is still pocketable. In fact, I carried this in my pocket today when I went to dinner, and it's a little bit bulky and heavy in the current configuration, but it still fits in the pocket nicely, even with that hero clip just kind of protruding outwards. And so the dimensions on this are 4.7 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall, and closed it's about an inch, or empty it's about an inch deep, but it's obviously quite a bit thicker in the current configuration. And I have this one loaded out a little bit more than I typically like to load out my pouches, but it has YKK reverse coil zippers on it. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break or anything like that, but it's definitely a little bit thicker than I tend to usually load out pouches, and that's more so because I like them to be a little bit lighter and close easier, but not bad how it is. And so I really went with kind of a full EDC kit. On the internal portion, I really went with a monochromatic theme this time, but on the external, I'm really using this as a wallet. And so obviously replaced it with some dummy cards, but had an ID and 2 credit cards, well, a debit card and a credit card in there. So 3 cards, as well as a little bit of cash. And again, it's a little bit snugger than I'd like because of how I have it loaded out. And so I have a little bit of cash in there, as well as a coin. This one's obviously not currency, it's a Peeps Pirate Life coin. Has the best things in life aren't things on the back. And this was one of those 5-pack ones that you're meant to kind of give away some of the other coins. And so that's all I had in the front. It does have this kind of blood orange honeycomb material internally, and the external is their X-Pac VX42 Fabric, and this is pretty standard with a lot of their models. It's a sailcloth, and so it's going to be pretty much waterproof, and with those reverse coil zippers. They're saying the pouch is waterproof. I still wouldn't submerge it. The zippers don't meet completely. Water will get in eventually, but if you drop it in the water or if you're in a heavy storm, it's not gonna have any issues there. Now this is a clamshell opening, and again has their own kind of zipper pulls on here. You can cut these off and replace them with whatever you want, obviously, but it does come with some really nice zipper pulls. I don't know what this material is, but it's a pretty durable plasticky material. And so again, a clamshell opening, so you can get a full opening there. And I did go with that monochromatic theme, so everything in here is black. On the left-hand side, I have the Leatherman rebar, and this is really pushing the limits to this pocket section. It's just big enough to fill it, but if it were any bigger, it probably would not fit. And so this side on the left is divided down the middle about, I guess, 1.5 inches or so in. And so the division doesn't go the full length. The bottom of the pocket is open. You can, if you had a weird shaped thing, it could cross over into here, but it is stitched on the top of that pocket, so you have no access to that really. And so the entire left side is divided down the 1.5 inch mark, but the seam doesn't go all the way down. And so I'm also not able to really utilize that back pocket with this in there because it's so thick. So I had this in the kind of elastic loop here and the bottom pocket, but nothing in that rear pocket. The right hand side is going to be that same dimension and have that in there with the pocket clip. So I have a Benchmade mini Griptilian in there, and that one fits pretty comfortably with a little bit of room to spare. So that one's not too bad. So the front pocket over here is 2.5 inches tall. The rear pocket is 3.5 inches tall if you end up utilizing that. But again, you're gonna need something pretty flat if you're putting thicker items in the front pockets. But the right hand side is gonna have similar dimensions, but there's no division down the middle of the pockets. There are some elastic loops that I'll show once I pull these front items out, but no division on the front or rear pocket, so you don't have that same limitation. So I'll go through what I have in them and then talk a little bit about the dimensions. So right up front, I just have kind of a standard Zippo, as well as the Olight i1R2 twist-on flashlight, 2 set light mode settings. Really, really great flashlight. I have a couple of this model. And then the Civivi Blade HQ bit driver, it has a T6 and a T8 in here. Honestly, it's not that good, but it was a freebie that, you know, you spend a certain amount and they send it to you for free. And so the magnet comes out with the bit, and that happened pretty much the second or third time I pulled the bit out of there. So the magnet's not so great, but you can just pull it off and reverse it. It does still hold it in place. So I guess that's a positive, but it falls out every time you remove the bit from the driver. And so that's just kind of a twist on. I did want to include a bit driver in here. This one's small. I didn't have a lot of room left. This was the last item I added into it, but I usually like to carry a bit driver on me. And then in the elastic loops behind, and so you can kind of see already that the pockets don't line up evenly. So this one's 2.5 inches tall. This one's only about 2.25 inches tall. And so it's not a even lineup, which looks a little bit weird, but gives you a couple different options, I guess. Behind that are some elastic loops, and these ones are divided in a third, but they're not exactly equal. The outer 2 loops are both 1 inch wide. The inner loop is about 1.25 inches, so you can put something a little bit thicker there. I'm not really utilizing the inner loop because, again, I had so much in that front pocket blocking it off, but I have some smaller items in the other 2, including this CountyComm aluminum pen, also, of course, in black to stick with that theme, as well as the CountyComm pry bar. This one again is Cerakoted in black, 3-inch model with the curve. And that's it in the elastic loops. And then the rear pocket is 3.5 inches tall by about 3.25 inches wide. And I just have a notebook in this one. I don't know how to pronounce this, Memosin. I'm guessing the N is silent, Memosin. But I got about a 10-pack of these on Amazon a while back. I don't know, it was a pretty long time ago, so I don't know if they still sell them, but cool little notebooks, and they're relatively compact, a lot more comprehensive than those Right in the Rain ones that I'll often put in smaller pouches that just because they're credit card size. So this is a little bit bigger than credit card size, but still not too large, but has a lot more pages and kind of interesting line system. They're divided in half in here. So just kind of an interesting little notebook, but again, about a 10-pack of these are relatively cheap. I'll link to them if they're still available, but sticking with the color scheme there, minus that little bit of yellow, and fits in there really, really nicely with a little bit of room to spare, as you can see. So nice to have a little bit of a more comprehensive notebook. But as you can see, I really was able to load this as almost a complete EDC for me. I have a multi-tool, a knife, a flashlight lighter, pry bar, pen, something to write in, as well as a small bit driver with T6 and T8 bits. And so pretty much a complete EDC. I obviously would carry my car keys, my phone, and using this as a wallet as well, so I have my cards and cash. And so really the only thing I'm missing that I typically EDC is a hank, and again, this was a little bit heavy, but it still fit in my front pocket. It's definitely doable. Probably wouldn't want to put it in like athletic shorts or something like that that are just being held up by elastic because it's so heavy, but with a belt and regular jeans, it worked. And so pretty cool little pouch. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Alpaka pouches. They have a new pouch coming out later this month that's available for pre-order. It's called the Metro pouch. So I'll definitely be doing a review on that once it ships. I think they're shipping the 14th or 15th of September. And they do ship from Australia, so they can take a little bit of time to get here, but not too bad. And I think shipping's around $5 if you don't get it expedited. So somewhat reasonable. So all in, I think that one I paid around $40 or so. So not too bad, but definitely check that out if you're interested in it. Again, the pre-orders are still available, and the only thing I would mention with Alpaka, and this is true for the Velcro as well, is they tend to come out with different colorways afterwards. So they almost always come out in black first, and then they'll come out with limited edition colorways that have like a blood orange one and a red one that comes out, a green one that comes out, and typically an Arctic, which is white, that comes out. And so those almost come out in all of the different products. So if you're not interested in the black one, just wait it out. Most likely they're gonna come out at some point, and subscribe to their emails. They'll email you when they do. So again, if you're not interested in black, probably don't hit the pre-order on the Metro pouch. As long as it's a popular enough model, they'll almost certainly come out with other colorways down the line. But thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the Alpaka Hub Pouch with the hook and loop panel down in the comments below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And as always, hope you have a great one. Take care.